am joined now by private investigator Ryan Daniel, who is helping in the ongoing search for Chance Englebert. Thank you for your time. I want to start with this convenience store and a possible sighting of Chance just a few miles away from where he was seen on that surveillance video. Tell me more about what happened that night and the authenticity of that lead.
So this lead that came from the convenience store clerk actually surfaced the first week after Chance went missing. Don't know why it may have got overlooked, but by going back through a lot of evidence and a lot of witness interviews, it kept coming up about the convenience store clerk that allegedly saw Chance. We were focused on the WTT because that's the area that his phone last pinged, but come to find out, this clerk was not working at the WT. He was actually working at a convenience store about 2 blocks north of the WTT. So that was a new lead for us.
So how does that change the investigation? And what do we know about the encounter at the convenience store and Chance's state of mind?
Well, according to the clerk, Chance was actually in a good state of mind. He didn't appear to be heavily intoxicated. It did confirm to us that he was actually out walking during the storm due to his shirt being wet. Additionally, it is believed that Chance was having a tense but not heated conversation in the back of the store while looking at drinks to buy. The convenience clerk was able to identify the actual drink and can of tobacco that Chance purchased with cash prior to leaving. And it does help us with our timeline. According to the clerk, we believe it was between 8:30 and 9 p.m. that night.
And where do we think he went after that? Do we know?
The clerk believes that he started heading back south. Evidence that we have gathered during this investigation indicates that we do have an area of incident, possibly where Chance went missing, down there by Stable Club and 5 Rocks Road, also at the junction of Owl Road. So if he did leave the store at 8:30, between 8:30 and 9, that would put him down there in that area, which we believe not only the area of incident, but the area of time, which we believe Chance's disappearance is focused on between 9 and 9:15 p.m. that night.
There's another lead here, Ryan, and that is a couple people who may have been around Chance that night, may have encountered him, that have nothing to do with his disappearance, but who may have seen something. Tell me about what you have found and the people potentially that you're looking to talk to.
So we had a witness that contacted the tip line. The witness indicated that between somewhere around 9 to 9:15, maybe 9:10 p.m. that night, 2 females in their mid-20s, both wearing jean shorts and a black top and a white top, were seen running down from the railroad tracks that cross over 5 Rocks Road, or also known as Avenue I. These 2 females appeared to be frantic, in a state of panic, and they were actually attempting to stop traffic on 5 Rocks Road. They continued to run down 5 Rocks Road and headed north towards where the auto dealership used to be, the used auto dealership. Once there, they were picked up by a small white 2-door truck pulling a metal boat on a white trailer. According to an additional witness that was there, so now we have 2 witnesses, these 2 females appeared to know who the driver of the truck was, and they got inside. This is important to us because we believe that this being the area of incident and the time that Chance went missing, between the 9 and 9:15 time, we have questions. You know, what did you see that night? What spooked you? What made you nervous? Why were you trying to stop traffic? We think possibly they may have seen Chance. They may have seen somebody out that night. That time frame and where Chance was when he went missing, we need to narrow down.
Yeah, and it could be critical to understanding where he went that night. You know, I think what is so mysterious and peculiar about his case, he was young, he was healthy, and he seemingly just vanished. I know you have to pursue a lot of different theories. Is one of them foul play, and are you leaning towards that in your investigation?
Of course, in my line of work, we never rule anything out. It's unfortunate, but foul play is still on the table, yes.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.